Welcome to day 7 of the Bums and Tums challenge here in Bacon Fueled Fitness. I am Coach Mack. If you are new here, so glad to have you join us. We are on the downhill. If you're joining us, if this is your day 1, just start here and then you can go back to the beginning. They're all posted here in the group. Wherever you're starting, as long as you're moving, it counts. So be so proud of yourself for showing up for this challenge here today. Today is not live. This is a recording because I can't be here live during the 9:30 time, 9:30 Eastern. So, but I will see you tomorrow back live in the group. So today is spicy. We are starting with some reverse lunges, changing it up a little bit from our previous time that we did some lunges. I'm going to start my timer here. We're doing all one leg. So join me here in some reverse lunges. And at the top, I want you to bring that knee up, and we are bringing that knee up to really enforce when you come to the top of the movement here. I want you to flex that bun extra hard. I think my head's getting cut off here, but keep going. I'll fix the camera, but keep going and come when you're up at the top here, really flex that bun, like almost like push your hips forward a little bit. So that's the point of the knee drive here. It's not so much to work this hip flexor as it is to emphasize the flexing of the buns at the top. So staying here, woo. We got 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Time. Let me fix this really quick. And then we have some RDLs. So same leg is going to be on the ground, and we are doing single leg RDL, which it looks weird. It's kind of like that airplane movement, if you remember from when you were a kid doing airplanes. But I want you to try to keep your down leg mostly straight. There's a little bit of a bend. And then I want you to think about kicking your heel through the wall behind you. And so this is definitely more of a hamstring movement, but if you have really nice hamstrings, it almost is like a little butt lift because the hamstring is what's right underneath your butt. And so if you have, again, a nice hamstring muscle, it's almost like a little shelf for your butt to sit on. So hamstrings are just as important for our buns as our buns are. And time. And then for our last exercise on this side, for our last buns on this side, is a single leg squat. If you need a chair or something to grab onto, feel free. But I just want you to squat down, same working leg, squat down as far as you can. It may not be very far, that's fine. But you're squatting down as far as you can. And really, again, at the top, flex those buns. You can use your other leg for a little bit of balance if you need, either on the tap your heel out and then your toe at the top, however you want to do it. But I want most of your weight to be on the one leg. And again, if you need a chair or a wall or whatever for balance, go ahead. This is not a big movement. As you can see, single leg squats are hard for most people, and I'm most people. 5 seconds here to finish it out. And last one, time. Whew. Shake it out, and now we are doing our other side. So starting with that reverse lunge with a knee drive. Okay, here we go. So lunging back and then driving that knee up, but again, an emphasis to flex your butt at the top. I really want your hips to come forward, finish that movement when you drive up. So I want you to just like really give it a squeeze at the top. And totally up to you if at the back, if you want to touch your knee down or not. I like to, it's just like, that's the end of the movement. But if you have any knee issues that prevent you from going that full range of motion, totally fine. Do what works for you today. So out of breath, starting to get sweaty. Ooh, 5 seconds, we got this. Whew. And try not to fall over. All right, now we have our RDLs, single leg RDLs, same thing, slight bend in your knee, and then your leg that's moving, I want you to think of kicking that wall behind you. Here we go. And if you need your arms out for balance, you can. Hands on your hips. However you want to do it. You can even add, you would think that adding some dumbbells here would add to the intensity. It may actually help make it a little bit easier for you as a counterbalance. And a note, the harder your surface is, the easier it's going to be. Just for balance, that's for all balancing things. So if you think of balancing on a wood floor versus balancing on a pillow, it's harder to balance on a pillow because you don't have as much control. There's not as much feedback there helping you balance. So if you're on a mat like I am, it's a little bit harder. That's okay. We're here for the challenge today. Whew. And time. So single leg squat here on that same working leg. Again, grab a chair, hold on to the wall, however you want to do this. A single leg squat. You can even, some people put their foot back here. I should have said this on the first round. Some people, you might find it easier to do a single leg squat like that, where your leg is behind you. That's totally fine. I find it a little bit easier to have mine out front, and then I can just touch my heel down for a little extra balance at the bottom, but I don't actually put weight on it to help myself get back up. So up to you, whichever method works best. Like I said, single leg squats are tough. So if you feel like you're not squatting down very far, that's okay. Most people don't. They're hard. Less than 10. And then we move on to our abs portion, our Tums. Whew. And time. So meet me down on the ground. We are starting off with a yoga move, boat to low boat, if you've ever heard of those. So this is a boat position. This is a low boat position, and we are just going back and forth. So find a nice happy place on your sit bone, and you're going back and forth. If you need to modify, just hang out here in this boat position. If you need to grab your knees for even a little bit extra support, do that. Whatever is making it work for you today, find some variation, some modification where you can do it. Keep moving, keep challenging yourself. That way, in 3.5 minutes when we're done, you can pat yourself on the back, give yourself a check mark for today. Because getting here, day 7, that's no joke. This is hard. 10 seconds here. Whew. But we're doing it. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Oh man, okay, now we have some leg lifts. So I'm gonna put my hands a little bit behind my low back, and we're just going to do some leg raises here. So start, legs go down and up. To modify, you can not bring your legs down so far. So if you feel your low back starting to hurt or come up off the ground a bunch, just go like halfway and come back up. If you need a little bit more of a modification, do it with your knees. Touch your heels down and back up. So you can do, this is a great modification, but I really want you to focus on keeping those ribs in and making your abs tighten here. So you want, like, pretend you have a corset on. That's what you want this to feel like. Your abs, your whole core is your natural corset to protect everything inside of there. That's what it's for. And so we want to make sure that it's doing the work here safely. And time. Whew. All right, I'm sweaty. Now we're doing some windshield wiper legs. So we just lifted them up and down. Now we are going side to side. And this is still very much our abs, but also bringing in our obliques to this. And again, modification, bend those knees and touch your knees, or nearly touch your knees down to the side. And you can have your arms out here. That's just to help with some counterbalance, because, you know, our legs weigh stuff. They have weight to them. So if we didn't have a counterbalance and a way to kind of help them back up, we might just fall over to the side. And so, in addition to having our abs pull our legs back up, we've got this little bit of a counterweight here, counterbalance, helping us out. 3, 2, and 1, time. Our last thing for today on day 7, we have some, I'm going to call them flutter kicks. So your legs are going to be going like this in the air. So You're here, your abs are nice and tight, holding your legs up, and you're just doing like, I don't know, flutter kicks, scissor kicks, whatever you want to call them, but like small ones. If you think of like ballerinas, how they do this. I'm not a ballerina, trust me. But whew, this is the movement here, and your abs should definitely be feeling this. Mine are. Even my hip flexors are getting in on the action here. I find it easier to point my toes. It just makes me feel a little bit more like a ballerina, even though I know I am not, and nor do I look like one. But point those toes, flex those abs, and just do as quick as you can. Doesn't have to be real fast, but just the idea is to go fast, as quick as you can. Time. Even if that is not very fast, which mine is not very fast, but if you're thinking fast in your head, you will go faster. So that is day 7 of the Bums and Tums challenge here in Bacon Field Fitness. Give yourself a giant pat on the back. My hip flexors are really tight now. So put a check mark here in the comments, like it, give a thumbs up, however you want to say, I did day 7. Throw it here in the group in the comments. Man, so good. I will see you here live in the group tomorrow, back live for day 8. So, man, you are killing it. Be so proud.